Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mike Green here, and I'm back again today with yet another tour review by yours truly. So today, we're taking a look at some Beyblade Burst Surge SpeedStorm stuff again. This time, it's Demise or Death Diablos D6. And I'm pretty hyped about this release because Demise, also known as Death Diablos in the Japanese, or Devolos for the Hasbro. This one actually is a rather interesting follow-up to Master Diablos, or Master Devolos, from Beyblade Burst Hypersphere / GT. So pretty cool, this one. So right at the top there, we can see Death Diablos looking absolutely awesome. And again, can we get an F in the chat for Spirit Dolahan? He can never catch a break, I'm telling you. We have our Surge, SpeedStorm, we have the box here, which this would house the bay, this would house the launcher, and then the back would be the ripcord. On the back of the box, we have Demise Devolos D6 right there, balance type. We have the Storm chip / the Super King chip. We have the ring. We have the layer base / layer base disc. Not layer base, the chassis disc. And then we have the driver. So, and then right there we have fused attack power right there to indicate that, yeah, this has a chassis disc on it. And then we have the, the stats right here, which, again, don't bother with these because they're absolutely rubbish. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat myself on that, but somebody in the comments can keep count how many times I repeat that line over and over. Got to adjust the camera real quick. Hang on. There we go. All right, now that's center. And without further ado, let's actually get on with the Beyblade, starting with the Storm chip / the, the Super King chip, which is Diablos. And again, looks very, very nice. Now, again, I will show comparisons with the other Diaboloses I have in a bit here. But for this current Diabolos, looks quite nice. Definitely keeps up the sort of red and gold aesthetic of the previous Diablos evolutions with sort of fearsome look here. Now, something that I don't like about this one is that, of course, because no metal and stuff like that on this one, the chip core on this one is actually fused to this, because normally this chip would actually be a dual spin chip. But because it's Hasbro, they removed the dual spin aspect from this chip. So now it doesn't have the metal bit in it, neither the components needed to actually do the left and right rotation like it should on this release. So quite a shame. But regardless, regardless of those little issues, it's still a really, really nice chip. And I'm glad we got this guy because he came in a random booster for Japan. And now we have him just as a starter. So that's pretty cool. So that is Diablos. That is a chip right there. Next, we're going to take a look at the ring, which is Death or Demise. Now, I have some pros and some cons with this. First of all, with the chip on, like so, looks absolutely amazing. I mean, my God, this thing looks absolutely fearsome with the chip on. But I'm actually going to keep the chip on for this. I was going to remove it again, but nah, I might as well keep it in since I put it in there. But the problems with this ring start off with is the lack of paint. So for this chassis in Japan, you would get these little stickers that would go inside here, which would be purple. These would be screws. And the screws would actually be holding together a clear piece that would go behind the ring to actually give it this really cool, like, energy effect on the back of these little spiky things here. So these little spikes would be that separate piece of plastic. But on this one, it's all fused into one, excuse me, and they didn't even bother to paint them, which I don't know why they didn't. And also, oddly, they did paint this part, the little blades here, which is nice, but for some reason, they painted the middle blades red instead of how they're supposed to be, which is gold. Well, I don't know why they decided to color them red, but I guess they're red now on this one, so kind of interesting change there for Demise or Death. And also on the back of the chip there is the QR code. You can scan him into the game. Cool stuff. Or the iPhone game. But anyway, there is that. And also in the Japanese, I believe he came with one defense. Yeah, as a single chassis that will go underneath here. But of course it doesn't do that on this one because they don't have chassis. But regardless, again, With that being said, it's still a really, really cool bay. And again, props to Hasbro for actually making this release possible, so kudos to them. And also, I think the chip's sitting funny. Is it? No, never mind, it actually is sitting. Wait, no it isn't. Oh wait, yeah it is. Okay. There we go, now it's sitting right, okay. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the chassis disc, which is One Balance. Now, One Balance is this time recolored in purple, and it does look quite nice. I do like the purple there. And I believe on the original it came with... Oh, God, what parts did it come with? Hang on. I actually have to look it up because it came with some garbage pieces for the Japanese release of this bay. So hang on a second. I actually have to look this up. So let me just quickly look that up. Let's see. Yeah, it came with 4-turn merge and 1 defense in Japanese. Good God, such garbage parts. But yeah, so it never came with 1 balance in the Japanese release. However, it did come with 4-turn. So this is somewhat trying to replicate the turn frame on this. And the middle part, I guess, represents 4. I don't know. But anyway, for a quick comparison, let's actually compare it to the Japanese counterpart of One Balance. So here we go. Here are the two parts right there. So you can see the difference between the chassis from the Japanese release and the Hasbro interpretation of this piece. So kind of interesting. So there you go. Moving that out of the way and putting my King Helios back together real quick, which I believe, yeah, I'm going to put him in his, right, okay. And then just, if he can actually go together. There we go. The last thing we have the driver, which is Merge/Merger SpeedStorm. Now, Merge is an old part. And again, on the original Japanese release, it came with, yes, it did come with Merge as well, but it came with Merge Dash. This one is not Dash, obviously. And also, oddly, they stripped the rubber from this. Now, again, Merge is an old part, as it is about as old as Legends Spriggan or Legends Spryzen from 2017's Beyblade vs. God / Evolution in the States. But anyhow, I'm really glad to see this driver come back in SpeedStorm. It's just a shame that they stripped the stupid rubber on it. What was the issue with the rubber, Hasbro? Like, what was the point of that? Now it's just a rehashed version of, like, Destroy or something. Lame-o. But anyway, there is that. Oh, and something else that's kind of neat is that they actually changed the symbol on Merge for SpeedStorm, so that's kind of interesting to note. I would bring out a regular Merge, but I kind of forgot to grab Legends Spriggan before recording this episode. So, we're going to have to just pretend right now that I'm comparing the two together there, because I'm not going to bother getting up and grabbing him, so... But just take my word for it, it is actually a different symbol now on the top, so kind of a neat little detail that they didn't need to include, but I'm glad they did. Putting the bay together, this is Demise or Death Diablos Hasbro version. And again, very, very nice. Again, very happy to have this. Now, there actually is another counterpart to this Beyblade. Now, just like the original Venom and Erase Diabolos from GT, this one is separated into two again. It's really weird, Diabolos, because they started off as two separate bays that you could make. So one could be right spin, the other was left. And then they fixed it by making Master Diabolos, which could flip over the layer base to change the rotation. And then for some godforsaken reason, they decided to do them as two separate releases again. Why? I mean, just a little bit of a nerd nitpick here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that these guys got represented in the toy line. And also something else that peeves me, besides the obvious fact that, like, they're separate again, even though they literally fixed the issue last season, like, right at the end. I don't know why they decided to do them separate again. But, this Beyblade doesn't appear in the anime. For some godforsaken reason, he's not in the anime. You know what he appears in? The manga. They decided to put this really, really friggin' awesome looking bay, at least in my opinion, it's probably one of the better evolutions that we got in SpeedStorm, not even just original, characters for SpeedStorm, like, or Surge or Super King, you know what I mean. But anyway, it's just really dumb that they took this awesome bait and just decided, you know what, let's just throw it in the manga because nobody's gonna care about it in the anime. Why, Takatomi? I question your marketing decisions. But anyway, enough of my nerdy ranting. Let's go into some comparisons. So the first comparison will be with Venom and Diabolos, the sort of first versions. You can see just how similar they are to each other. Very, very nice. Next, we'll bring in Erase Diabolos, which again, there is a counterpart to this one as well, and that is Abyss Diabolos. Counterpart to this one in particular, but regardless, it's still basically the same thing. So there you go. So you have the two right there. Very, very nice. Next, we're going to bring in Glide Ragnarok, sorry. R6 for comparison here. Very, very nice base there. Next, we will bring in Brave Ragnarok right there. If I can actually rotate it to, okay, yeah, there we go, into the proper rotation. So you can see how those two look together. Very, very nice. Next, we will bring in, let's go with Rage Longinus or Raid Luinor. So you can see how these two fearsome beasts look. Very, very nice. Next, we will bring in Spear Dillahan, the one that always keeps getting destroyed on the packaging. So, again, F in the chat for this poor sap, as he seems to be very, very weak. Which actually isn't too far off, as in actual battles, he is very, very crap. But, I mean, he's still a cool evolution. Just a shame that he's just not that good in actual battles. But, anyway, cool stuff. And then lastly, next we'll bring in, what is this? Super Hyperion H6. Sure, guys can see how those two look together. Now, something else I should let you guys know is that there is another Beyblade that I'm going to be getting for Surge SpeedStorm. That's coming up. I'm going to be getting that this week, actually, at the time of this recording. And that is King Helios. So that's coming up, and then next month, I believe, if my Amazon said correctly, May 8th or 9th, I should be getting Curse Satan / Curse Satum. So cool stuff in Colossal Helios / King Helios. So definitely expect reviews on that soon. So, but again, you just check my notifications, all that. Make sure that you guys are notified for when those videos come out. And then last, we're going to do the Japanese comparisons, which are, of course, the only Japanese representatives I have at the time of this recording. That being King Helios, right there, the Japanese version anyway. As I said, Wednesday of this week, we should be checking out his English state counterpart, his Hasbro counterpart, I should say. And then we have Super Hyperion right there. Now, just a little thing that I forgot to do in my Super Hyperion H6 review, because I decided to do a case of the lazy on you guys, is that here's a quick comparison of the two, so you guys can, of this guy with the Cosmo Apocalypse base. You can see that, yeah, it pretty much was exactly based on that, so you guys can see how those are. Just wanted to quickly fix that little error, or I guess act of laziness from that video, from that other video. But anyways, guys, with that all being said, this has been my review of Beyblade Burst SpeedStorm / Super King, Demise / Death Devolos D6 right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so that way you guys get notified for all my uploads. Later, Read Squad, and have a good one.